is setting the stage here at AMT Headingley. There's a big game feel here. It's an emotional afternoon. Fireworks. And now we see Rob Burrows' parents, Jeff and Irene, along with Rob's sisters, Joanne and Claire, bringing out the match ball for this afternoon's game. Chris Kendall is our match referee. And very shortly we will mark the first anniversary of the passing of Rob Burrows CBE and celebrate his life with a minute's applause here at AMT Headingley ahead of the Super League game between the Rhinos and Wakefield Trinity.
To the MND community during their darkest hours that made him a household name across the country. And so, if you can, would you please stand to join the Leeds Rhinos and Wakefield Trinity players and staff in a minute's applause to celebrate the life and the legacy of Rob Burrows, CBE. Time for business now for the two sides. An amazing pre-match. John, that was tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Befitting the occasion and befitting the person as well. What a brilliant build-up. Superbly done by Headingley Stadium. We had to wait a little while for Opperman, didn't he? But it was well worth it. He brought his own fireworks too. Now, really looking forward to this game. You asked me previously, Rod, about what I'm expecting from this game. Well, I think you've got two teams banging form. You've got a really emotionally charged day. You can still smell the cordite in the air from the fireworks. Wakefield, the visitors, have come here and knocked the Leeds Rhinos off already once this season. For me, they're playing the most attractive rugby league I've seen in 2025 against the Leeds Rhinos side that is proving very, very hard to break down. So in short, I think all the ingredients for an absolute banger of a game.
Leeds have faced their surge at the table with a chance to go third today. Really more on their defence, haven't they? That side of the ball.
Yeah, it was something that Brad Arthur spoke about. It was his main priority when he came on board last year. He's had a full pre-season with these guys, and the results have shown the second best defence in the league, short of the table toppers Hull KR. So the proof is in the pudding, and they are very, very resilient in defence. But look, this Wakefield side, if there's a side that's going to challenge and stretch the Leeds Rhinos, it is Trinity.
There was an early touch there for Kaya Sfartilli, the latest cult hero of Wakefield Trinity. 3 try braces this year already for the big man. 2 against Warrington a couple of weeks ago, 2 against Salford last week. What can he do here at AMT Headingley? Liam Hood finds the Samoan string puller Mason Lino, who was the star of the show in their win here earlier on in the season. Lockie Miller on the gallop, on the counter. Manhandled back inside his own 20-metre area. Handley now gets his hands on the football early on in the piece, and Riley Lum will be going nowhere fast there. Do you think Wakefield have lost the element of surprise coming here again in round 13 as opposed to round 1, John, when not too many people expected much from them?
Well, I think it's a different proposition facing them now, and yes, there's been 12 games worth of review and preview on Wakefield Trinity, but I think they've improved as well. I think this is a much better side than started 2025. There's boatloads of storylines in this game, isn't there? The main storyline around this is clearly all about Rob and the legacy that he's left and the development of the MND Centre in Leeds. But there's plenty of storylines on the pitch as well, not least the man who just kicked the ball, Jake Connor, and what a career resurgence we've seen from that man. Yes. He's been arguably Leeds' player of the year so far. If
you looked up Rugby League Maverick in the dictionary, a picture of Jake Connor would appear. This mercurial talent, has he found his niche, has he found his home at AMT Headingley, I wonder? Hull and Huddersfield, and he's eventually left both of them, and you might say possibly under a cloud, John.
Yeah, I think he's in career best form. I think he's playing really well. But then, you know, so is Max Jowett, so is Mike McMeekin, who's had a barnstorming season. Storylines all over.
The former Bronco Josh Rourke gets his hands on the ball, got his first try for Trinity last week against Salford, but it's in good form for London in 2024. He got 8 tries in 12 appearances for a side that ended up finishing bottom of the table. That was for Attili. This is now Hood, and that is Lino. And Lino with plenty of hang time, but it finds hand, not land. It finds Riley Lum, and Riley Lum tries to squirm out of the grasp of 3 Trinity players, but can't do so. And big Mike McMeekin was the man who made the stop. Ryan Hall. Still going strong at 37 years old.
McDonald just playing the ball. My idea of a really tidy player, I think his work rate both sides of the ball is phenomenal. So we talk about the superstars in the game. There's another player to watch out for. I think he's got a huge future ahead of him.
Wakefield started well in the first trip to Headingley this season. They led 14-6 at half-time, held on to win by a couple in the end. Connor kicks again. A lot of height on that ball. Backpedaling is Josh Rourke. Rourke collects that ball a couple of metres from his own try line, goes on a run, taken down by Croft.
Heavy contact by Brodie Croft. Josh Rourke fell into the tackle. They call this the feeling out process. I've never really quite understood that, unless your definition of feeling people out is that. I mean, it's just everything's a car crash, isn't it?
You'd rather be doing the feeling out rather than feeling the feeling out, I think, John, wouldn't you? But it's early trademark arm wrestle stuff at the start of a Super League contest. We're in the 5th minute, no points on the board. The evergreen, ever popular Jay Pitts finds Fat Attili tried to get free from Watkins. Big Mick took him down. Alensky making his 200th career appearance. Miller this time takes the catch. Second season at the Rhinos. Scored 10 tries for the club up to press.
Sorry, Rod. Better kick, better chase. Kaius Fat Attili got a quick play the ball at the end of that. That forced Lockie Miller into a 10-metre retreat. So I think if the playing field is tilted ever so slightly, I think Wakefield have just nabbed the advantage.
Rhinos halfway inside their own half here. The clock coming round to 5 minutes. 3 tackles left in this sequence for Leeds. Jake Connor has his hands on the ball, spins it out to Croft. Got the link going there, the 2 half-backs, as the Rhinos put ball through hand for the first time in the match. Ryan Hall comes in at dummy half-halving. Harry Newman, the man tackled. The kick this time from Croft. Variety, they changed the kicker. And that was a dangerous dipping ball that at the end was claimed by Walmsley, but for a moment it looked like it might get away from him.
Yeah, I just think he
did well in the end, didn't he?
Struggling with the sunlight, I think. The sun's been peeking out through the clouds all afternoon. We've had 4 seasons in one day today. We've had rain showers. It was muggy here on our arrival earlier in the afternoon. A brief downpour, and the sun glimpsing out. So the players have got all sorts to deal with here, not least the opposition.
Tom Johnstone now, bearing in mind he went off injured against Salford. He's hurt again, Johnstone. He's clutching that right ankle. Now this could be an early problem for Daryl Powell as McMeekin reverses forward, and this would be a real blow if they were to lose Johnstone earlier. They lost him against Salford in the first half last weekend, but that didn't really matter. There's an intercept. Well, it's a great bit of pickpocketry by James McDonald, but Wakefield were alert to it and stuffed the danger out just as he threatened to stretch his legs. Now this is a dangerous Miller. Miller with the dancing feet, the twinkle-toed Lockie Miller. Dragged down 10 metres inside the Wakefield half of the field. First real attacking chance for the Rhinos here. That was Jared O'Connor who got them moving again. He was the player of the match at Castleford last weekend. Here's Jake Connor again. Walensky, the rumbling powerhouse. O'Connor is there to direct the traffic. Goes from right to left, finds Jake Connor. Takes the ball on the fly. Bentley offloads to Connor again. Jake Connor, the danger man. He's still going, Jake Connor. Offloads. Miller gets it out, trying to get it wide. It goes backwards, says the referee.
Oh, another really important contribution, this time from a Wakefield player to intercept a pass. We saw McDonald pick off Jake Pitts' ball, which put them in this position. Tom Johnston, who's really still struggling with that ankle issue, has come up with a potential try-saving play there in defence.
John has already alluded to the Rhinos' defence, the second best in the comp. But their try output has been poor. Just 44 tries scored. That puts them 7th on the list and 10 behind Wakefield. And you'd feel that they'll have to up the try output if they're to challenge for honours this season. That would be the logic. You can't keep just defending. Kick from Lino, collected by Lum. Lum, the 20-year-old winger. And again, it's Fat Attili in the welcoming committee.
Just keeping an eye on Tom Johnston here. He's in a world of trouble. He's looking like he's trying to run this lower leg injury off. And I'm just looking at the bench. The only back really there is Cam Scott, a centre by trade. So if he can't continue, Tom Johnston, there's going to be some real early headaches for Darryl Powell to try and solve.
Yeah, this isn't designed to be rude about Salford, but it's a lot easier to deal without Tom Johnston for half a match against Salford than almost the whole match against the Rhinos away from home. Handley, that's Handley offloads brilliantly there. Smuggled it away to Bentley. Good stuff from Leeds. Threatening again here, the Rhinos. Connor, a prodded kick, a high ball towards the goal line. And a try! It's a spectacular score, and Chris Kendall gives the try. The high hanging kick from Jake Connor. And Leeds are on the board. Harry Newman was highest and strongest and got the try.
It's a brilliant take under pressure. This has been a really expensive couple of minutes for Wakefield Trinity. First Tom Johnston, Seth Nicotimo in the backs, left-hand side of his shot. He's going to go off injured, but I tell you what, that is an absolute first-rate take from Harry Newman. The kick was pinpoint. It forced a contest from Max Jowett, but Harry Newman just 100% committed, off balance in the air. A clean take, and it's a great reward for what's been a high-tempo start from the Leeds Rhinos. So there's some real issues for Wakefield Trinity as Jake Connor's lining up the kick. Seth Nicotimo, who came off second best in a tackle, he's heading down the touchline. He will be an early HIA casualty, so he has 15 minutes, we think, to be assessed, to pass a cognitive test to see whether he can come back on the field. So an earlier than anticipated change, Rod. Isaiah Vanganar is going to be taking the field.
Yeah, you're quite right, John. And that is Isaiah Vanganar coming on to replace Nicotimo for that HIA that John was just talking about, while we watch Jake Connor trying to add the conversion. He's 18 for 29 goals for Leeds this season, which is around 62%. Not a great ratio, but he should improve it here from this very comfortable angle and distance. He set up the try, Jake Connor, with the kick. That will be classified as his 16th try assist of this season. And he dropped that grenade just where he wanted it, on the try line. And there was Harry Newman to get up strong and high and get the ball down. Good try. Yeah,
absolutely. Great finish by Newman, but you're right to mention Jake Connor. The try assist that he's provided, number 16, he's clear at the top of the charts for the Leeds Rhinos. And don't forget, he's played in multiple positions this season already. Found his home now in the halves. And really, really potent attacking player.
Yeah, Leeds and Brad Arthur happy to continue to go with Croft and Connor in the halves. overseas star Matt Frawley can't get a gig.
I actually think it's his best position, you know, because I think you've got two nailed-down centres in Hanley and Newman. Lockie Miller's now back at full-back. I think in the halves, I think he's less exposed, because if he has got a weakness, I'm not sure the pace that he once had is there. So I think playing him out the back or playing him on the edges, there's a vulnerability there defensively. I think in the halves, I think he's protected and he can get about his job in attack, and he's really, really effective for them.
Well, you talk about try assists, and that was the 16th, as we've just alluded to Connor. Top of the charts there is the Lee Leopards halfback, Lachlan Lamb. Connor kicks again. This time it's just a high teasing kick, collected by Rourke this time. Rourke's done well, but he's got no room in which to operate or to work. He's in the cul-de-sac, and Wakefield sits behind and under pressure early here.
Yeah, the completion of sets has been great. I think both teams 100%, but it's where Leeds are turning the ball over. It's been consistently in that area of the field, and they've really got some line speed against Wakefield now. It's a better carry by Corey Hall that's generated a bit of momentum, but once again, they're going to end this set on or around the halfway line.
Well, that was Johnston. He's still on the field, and he's still battling through the pain barrier. Rourke and Hall. Hall flirting with the touchline, but stays in the field of play, keeps himself on the island, and now Mason Leno puts that high. Lockie Miller takes it comfortably, looks for options, runs straight.
Yeah, a good response from Wakefield. It needed to be as well. There was all kinds of chaos for them in the build-up to the try conceded. I think it's probably a measure of how far this team's come. Walked through the championship last season. Some smart recruits under Darryl Powell. They've played some really attractive rugby, but there's a patience and a composure about this side perhaps we didn't see in the early exchange of the season. Definitely there now.
There's 3 tries in 2 games, by the way, for Harry Newman, who bagged a brace at Cass, and 2 in 2 games against Wakefield this season, because he did score in the home defeat that we've already mentioned, the one in round 1 of the competition. Connor shows the ball, then offloads to Callum Watkins. He's 34 now, and he's in his second spell at the Rhinos. He made his debut way back in 2008. To the cup tie, and it was alongside the likes of Rob Burrow and Danny Maguire and Kevin Sinfield and the great legends of that golden generation.
Yeah, well, thankfully, Johnson has shown, I think, with his latest carry that perhaps he's been able to run off that ankle injury, which would be a real relief for Darryl Powell and the coaching staff.
6-0 leads, and the carrot is there for Brad Arthur and his boys. They can get to 3rd on the league ladder with a victory here. It will be still at a respectful distance from the top 2, Hull KR and the Wigan Warriors, but they will feel Leeds. Remember, they've won the Super League title from 5th on 2 occasions, John. They'll feel they can still win from anywhere.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, they're facing the right way, aren't they? And there's been some adjustments and tweaks that have been made that have been grounded in hard work. If you talk to any of the Leeds Rhinos player, anybody in the backroom staff there, they're saying all this has been founded on graft and hard work. Started back in October last year, and you see the fruits of it now.
Connor, half break. Supported by Miller, supported by Croft. Croft now, the former man of steel. Lovely interlinking play between Connor and Miller, and latterly Croft. Now Miller again. Shows the ball in one hand, reverses towards the Trinity try line. Jared O'Connor comes in, finds Connor. He's seen so much of the ball, Jake Connor, early on. This is Ash Handley now in the centres. Connor again, the playmaker in chief. Oh, fumbled and then dropped by his halfback partner, Brodie Croft. Slipped from his grasp. Had 2 or 3 attempts to regather it, but couldn't do so.
Well, an ignominious end to what was a brilliant start. The pass from Paliasir just not caught cleanly by Brodie Croft, but look, let's not detract from what was a fantastic start to that set. Started by Jake Connor, stepped inside Corey Hall, released Lockie Miller, and Lockie Miller over the top of the referee to Brodie Croft, who's just hauled down. I think Max Jowett did really well there to stem the flow. And it ended, as we know, with the Brodie Croft knock-on, but a warning shot there fired. It's the Leeds Rhinos side that's come to play here.
Leeds 6-0. I think fair to say, John, that if they were betting in running on the player of the match, Jake Connor would be a very strong favourite at this moment in time, because he really has run the show early on. He's right at the top of the Man of Steel standings too. He's having a terrific season, as John Wells has already pointed out. And he's having a terrific afternoon here at AMT Headingley. Up to press, Connor.
Now, what they've done is, with this, where they've got him in the halves now, they've amplified the positive elements to his game and really managed to mitigate or dampen the likelihood of him being exposed on the other side of the ball. It's some really smart stuff from Brad Arthur.
There was a lot of stuff in this game that a lot of people didn't like. I mean, I don't know what goes on in meetings between Mr. Arthur and Jake Connor, but do you think he's tried to get that out of the game? Some of what you might politely describe as nonsense? Yes,
absolutely, yeah. And you listen to anybody, they always say this, don't they? He's a lovely bloke off the field, but he crosses that white line. But I think, you know, Brad is a hard taskmaster, disciplinarian, so there'll be no place in a Leeds Rhino side for somebody who's not going to toe the line.
We saw a little bit of those shenanigans from the ace Hull KR playmaker Mikey Lewis last night, didn't we? But Jay Pitts, oh, and he thought he'd got free, but he hadn't, because he was dragged down by Keenan Palacia. And now Jowett, and Jowett's done well here. Rourke prods a kick forward, it ricochets off and Lee's boot. It's still the last tackle though, so it's in the air from Jowett. Great play, Riley Love. Did exceptionally well, he's away.
It's a late call, Rob. It's a late call from the touch.
Oh, I see it now, yeah, the whistle has gone, John. Well spotted.
It's the correct call as well, because there was a Wakefield player ushered off the ball there. Corey Hall was going to leap, but I think they may even be challenging this one.
And you are right, John, it will be a captain's challenge, as indicated by Chris Kendall. Our video referee this afternoon is Tom Grant, and he will adjudicate on the Leeds challenge.
Of an escort.
Captain's challenge. Leeds are challenging the on-field decision of an escort, so we'll start from the kick. Pause the ball on the foot, so we've got players that are offside to the right, so we'll play this through and check their involvement. So the two far chasers are onside, so we can keep playing through. Towards this, so we're looking at the actions of Ash Handley. So ball's in the air. Actually going tighter onto this. Again looking at Ash Handley. Ash Handley moves laterally and prevents Corey Hall from challenging the ball. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, it didn't have a lot going for it, that challenge, John, did it?
I have no idea why they've done that. Burnt really early on. Ash Handley's still remonstrating with the referee, but I think that's as clear a decision as you're going to get. And it was the touch judge Marcus Griffiths who gave that. I think Chris Kendall was willing to play on, and Riley Lund was downfield. But Wakefield are going to get a look here, a long look at this Leeds Rhinos line.
Well, unfortunately for Ash Handley, that is the highest authority he can take the challenge to. He cannot go to the Supreme Court or the European Court of Human Rights over that refereeing call. So they're going to have to just wear it now. Wakefield have a set on the Leeds line. Leno and Pitts. Pitts was almost through, the former Rhino. Croft and Watkins did the necessary. Hood. Leno again. Fatili. This serial try scorer in recent weeks. Liam Hood is in at dummy half. Goes to the right this time. Leno again. Stutter step. It's knocked on. It's knocked on. Wakefield's chance comes to nothing. Knocked on by Vanganar it was. Picked up by Miller. Rocky Miller. It was a really good chance for Wakefield to get back on level terms, but they haven't taken it.
Yeah, and for once, there's an absence of patience and composure there. Just fired the ball, and the pass was really for Vanganar under a serious amount of pressure. You could argue he should have taken that, but they had tackles in the bank. And again, more chaos for Wakefield. Jay Pitts is nursing an ankle injury. Seth Nicotimo still having a HIA assessment. Tom Johnson not 100%.
Well, we're watching the 25th game where Brad Arthur has been in charge of Leeds. He has a winning record, 14 wins to 10 losses at the moment. We're now watching Lachlan Walmsley. who scored 2 last week against Salford. He had 4 for the Super League season. Well, here's Johnstone again. Tom Johnstone.
Yep.
Struggles forward for an extra metre or so.
It was a fair hit, wasn't it, on Lachlan Walmsley? It was Keenan Paliasira absolutely lined him up. And there's more hits coming in here. Oliver Pratt's just been folded midfield.
Oh, Fartilli has lost the football. Play on, it's been lost. Leeds looking to show some enterprise. Miller with that familiar dancing feet routine. Stepping, stopping, tackled now.
So elusive, isn't he, Rod? Really difficult to pull down.
And Leeds have looked a lot more enterprising with ball in hand this afternoon than they have for much of this Super League season. I mentioned they've only scored 44 tries so far, 45 now with Newman's effort today. Watkins offloads in the tackle. And now this is Bentley. Bentley is grabbed by Lino. Leeds with tackles in the bank here, in the red zone, looking to double their advantage. Connor again from left to right. Leeds keeping the ball moving, offloading at every opportunity. Croft kicks, Newman's there again.
Oh, really good play. Brilliant defensive play from Josh Rock. Try saver, Rod. Absolute stone cold try saver. It was a brilliant kick through from Brodie Croft, and Harry Newman was screaming onto this. That's so brave from Josh Rock. Boy, we've got a game on our hands here, Rod.
Yeah, I'd have made Newman favourite there just briefly as the ball was bouncing, but you're quite right, John. Rock did very well to defuse the situation, because it did look as though Newman was going to double his money and double the Leeds lead. All happening early here at AMT Headingley. Newman's try, the goal from Connor, 6-0 Rhinos halfway through the first half. Here comes Miller again. He and Connor have been the stars of the show so far. Look at Miller go! And Wakefield, you feel, are really starting to creak a little bit as Leeds move the ball around. Lum.
Leeds have come out of the blocks. They just clicked straight into top gear, and I think Wakefield have really struggled to go with them. You talked about them being more enterprising in attack. I think they've got a real edge about them today, haven't they?
Definitely. Big Mick. And Connor Croft, they're giving him space. The door shuts on the former Salford halfback. O'Connor again, Leeds pressing. Jake Connor scores! Connor, the star turn in the first 20 minutes, has emphasised that with a 4-pointer, and Leeds are 10-0 up, KTC.
Well, the time just slowed down, didn't it, when Jake Connor got the ball in his hands. Wakefield were right to be nervous in an attacking position, his area of the field. He had options inside and out. Look at the line for McDonald on the outside. Really makes life difficult for Wakefield defenders, who I've got to say have been passive for this last set or two. Such is the dominance that Leeds have shown over the last 5 or 6 minutes, and Jake Connor, well, he's really pleased. That's a statement try from a banging form player, and Wakefield have got a serious problem here, because I don't think they've got the ability at the moment to go with Leeds.
You can't stand off this man, because you start giving him more time and more space, the result will be tries. And Jake Connor was invited to threaten the try line, and not only did he threaten it, he got over it. And it's a 3rd try of the Super League season for Jake Connor. And you can add in 16 try assists as well, so 19 try involvements, just emphasising, underlining a point you've made of his form, John.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it's not far off being involved in half of the tries that the Leeds Rhinos have scored this season. Probably worth saying a bit of good news for Wakefield Trinity. We talked about the chaos, the injury issues, the HIA. Seth Nicotimo has passed his HIA. He is back on the field, and it looks like a good time for them as well, because it comes at the end of the natural first spell for one of those middlemen, Kaius Fatatili, who we will replace. So sort of normal service resumed for Wakefield, but I'll tell you what, they've got to get up to speed quickly, because this Leeds Rhino side looked ruthless this afternoon.
Yeah, and if they don't, John, this Leeds Rhino side will be out of sight. Jake Connor here, and again it's a relatively simple conversion opportunity to tag on the 2 to his 4-point try. Adds the extras, Leeds up by a dozen.
Yeah, they're going up in 6s, aren't they? And I think they've been really dominant. Lockie Miller's caused them all kinds of problems. He's starting sets really well for them. Everything is then played off the front foot. Now, I don't care who you are, how talented or workaday you are. If you're playing on the front foot, life is a lot more easy in a contact sport like rugby league, because your defenders cannot apply any kind of pressure to you. Lockie Miller, just look at what Lockie Miller does when in any kind of space, and the effect it has on a Leeds Rhinos possession.
And this time the kick is collected on the full by Hanley. He finds Miller. Aletsky goes on a gallop. Now, we've got no idea what would have happened had this game been played at Headingley on any other given afternoon. And this might be inventing a narrative, but do you think Leeds have come out? Well, we'll come back to that, John, because they've locked on Leeds here. And Wakefield have the ball with Rourke. And Josh Rourke is tackled 22 metres out. Wakefield could badly do with hitting back now. They've had one foray into the red zone so far, and they knocked on. But their chances have been few and far between. Leeds have dominated. That was Vanganar. This is Pitts. Jay Pitts.
Hit a line, get square. Go, Tim.
Second spell at Wakefield. That was McMeek, and this is Leno. They get it wide to Wormsley. Wormsley! Lachlan Wormsley. Did he get it in the corner?
Time off.
I think the officials think he did, but it's going to be handed upstairs. And the live call is try. So let's hear from Tom Grant, the video referee, once more.
Okay, it's tackle 2. We've got a live call try. We're just confirming that he stays in the field of play. So in possession at this point, contact is fine, falling towards the floor, and the ball is grounded. Made my decision.
Simple decision made with the minimum of fuss by Tom Grant. And it is TRY time, and Wakefield are back in the game.
That was a brilliant finish from Lachlan Wormsley, it really was. He had some work to do in the corner, but I'll tell you what, this is the knock-on from McDonald. It was forced actually from Liam Hood, got right underneath the ball, but take a look at this. So I want to take a look at the last pass. Corey Hall, brilliant catch, and an improvised shovel ball over the top of Riley Lum to let Lachlan Wormsley loose. Take a look at it from this angle. It'll look even better from this angle. It's brilliant basketball stuff from Corey Hall. He's still learning his trade in the centres, and Lachlan Wormsley, well, he may be buying a coffee, I think, on Monday morning, because that was put on a plate for him. There was work to do for him for sure, but a brilliant piece of improvisation in attack from Corey Hall. Wakefield, and they needed to strike, didn't they? They really needed to get something on the board.
Good finish that, all about the upper body strength really. John Wells scored most of his tries as flying pace down the wing, the searing speed of John Wells. That was a strength effort from Wormsley. Now, can Jowett add the extra 2? Really tricky one, right on the stripe, far touchline, Wakefield right, to trim the Leeds lead to 6. It's a good effort. It's gone through. It is 12-6. Well, Jowett now, 36 out of 45 successful kicks, over 80% now, which makes him one of the top kickers in this league. Absolutely, and look, you know, you can score in the corner, can't you, through Corey Hall and Lachlan Wormsley, if you know you've got a kicker of the quality of Max Jowett who can nail it from the touchline. And you get the feeling they've got to go up in 6s as well. It's a riposte. Oh no, and an error from the kickoff. The ball got really big on Josh Rourke. There was real momentum from the kick from Lockie Miller. And I was just about to praise Wakefield, saying it was the riposte that was needed. But this got big on Josh Rourke. He lost where he was.
10 seconds, Max.
And that's not the way you want to restart play after scoring points. Josh Rourke will now have to marshal his defence for a set of 6.
Off.
pulling the case for the defence. There's a bit of wind around Headingley, but it should still have been taken. The short drop out has worked. And those that say the short drop out never works, watch that back again.
Including me, because I assumed that Leeds would get that back. Really enterprising stuff from Wakefield. The short drop out is absolutely perfect. And Tom Johnston flies through the 10-metre mark and takes it, and I think they needed that as well.
Jared, wait, go free. Nice and quick.
Well, they spun the roulette wheel there, but it came down on the right number, and Wakefield have got the football back.
No! Back. Keenan, you're off. You're good now,
28 minutes almost gone here. It's a 6-point game now. Leeds had bossed the first 25 minutes. They scored twice through Newman and Connor. Wormsley has hit back 3 in 2 games for the Scottish international winger. Bouncing ball this time. Miller stoops, picks it up, burrows his way forward, is dragged backwards, and this time Lockie Miller's dancing feet do not get him out of trouble.
Intelligent play that from Mason Lino. He's put it in a corner and he's sent a kick chase team after Lockie Miller, because I think he's caused them all sorts of problems. Take him out of the equation, limit his meters. That set in defence looks a whole different proposition then for Wakefield, much easier.
This is better from Wakefield now on the other side of the ball. Ryan Hall with a bowling ball into the Wakefield Skittles carry, and Wakefield having to do more defence, but they've pinned Leeds back a little bit on this set of 6 to be absolutely fair, and Connor has to clear the lines. It's deep, it's heading for the sideline, it pulls up short, and it's picked up by Josh Rourke for Trinity.
Well, it just runs out of puff, didn't it? The idea was right. Oh wow, big shot, Paliasier. Big shot on Rourke, did not miss.
Keenan Paliasier back in the Leeds run on 13 today, and my word, he introduced himself there, didn't he? The front row enforcer.
Well, it's not disappointed so far, has it, this game? It's had everything so far. Really entertaining stuff, served up by both teams.
Round 13 of Super League, and much on the line in terms of top 6 jostling for position. Wakefield starting 6th, can go above the Rhinos here if they win this game, but if they get beat here at AMT Headingley, they could slip out of the playoff places if Hull win in France. It's that tight down there. Miller easy this time, the flying figure of Lockie Miller.
Yeah, good take. Well judged as well by Josh Rourke not to tackle in the air. Ryan Hall on a trademark carry. He's just pinched 15 metres.
Ryan Hall being serenaded by the South Stand. There were those who said, what are they doing here, signing Ryan Hall, re-signing Ryan Hall? He's had to change his game completely, hasn't he?
I mean, well, he's always been devastating, hasn't he, with carrying the ball, but yes, he's adapted with the times. And re-signed Callum Watkins as well. They're putting the band back together, the Leeds Rhinos.
Yes. Connor, that is a towering kick and no mistake. How do you fancy that? Lachlan Wormsley, well played. Good catch that.
Yeah, a number of adjustments he had to make while the ball was in flight. And Ash Hanley again timed his challenge to perfection.
Like the kind of steepling catch you might see the other side of Headingley during a T20 game that Yorkshire were playing just a couple of evenings ago here. That was so high, and Wormsley was underneath it for some time. He had plenty of time to think about it, and he did well to take it. And Wakefield here have dragged their way back into this contest. McMeekin. Oh, and the halfback is caught in possession. Lino is clattered by Handley.
So smart by Ash Hanley. He sorely anticipated the quick hands, and they've now forced Wakefield into a skied kick from Max Jowett. And Jake Connor is going to let that one bounce, so they're going to start this set on the halfway lane, if not more.
It will be more, John. I'm sure Hall tried to swat away some would-be tackling. Wakefield were under such pressure there. The kick had no distance, and now Harry Newman finds the string puller Connor. Connor running the show here, having some sort of day out. And now it's Handley. Ash Handley. In his 12th season for Leeds. Cam Smith off the bench now. As Leeds threaten once more here. They're knocking at the door. 6 again here. O'Connor. And now Croft. And now Miller, Leeds threatening to burst through again. Lockie Miller goes wide. Handley, Lum's in. Riley Lum with a simple touchdown. Wakefield stretched to breaking point, and the dam bursts again, and Leeds score again. And Riley Lum gets his 9th of the Super League season.
It's a brilliant finish. Really enterprising stuff from the Leeds Rhinos. They've gone from edge to edge. They had another set of 6. They didn't need a single one of them, did they? They ship right first of all. Brodie Croft straightens up. Lockie Miller skirts the defensive line. 5 rifles the ball out to Ash Hanley, and then it's a walk-in in the corner, untouched from Riley Lum. Just that change of direction, challenging Wakefield defenders, and then finding space, letting the ball do the work. Riley Lum, who's been an ever-present for the Leeds Rhinos this season, really establishing himself as a first-team winger of note. And that's his 9th try of the season. But I'll tell you what, you talk about moments that change momentum in games, and you could trace all that back to a brilliant piece of defensive work from Ash Hanley. The previous set, it resulted then in Wakefield having a really poor clearing kick, and from that position and possession, Leeds Rhinos were able to capitalise.
Well, Connor here with his toughest assignment with the boot of the afternoon, and no mistake. Right on the far touchline, the Leeds left. Trying to stretch it to 18-6. 6 minutes before the half-time interval. Jake Connor, it's very much his afternoon so far. It's the Rhinos' afternoon.
Absolutely.
They're up by 12.
Take a look at this. This is the tackle I was talking about. That absolutely shut down the Wakefield exit set, forced into a poor kick. It set up position for this. And then the Leeds Rhinos, well, once in the red zone, you said they were struggling to score tries this season. They're not this afternoon. It looks like Brad Arthur's taken the handbrake off, doesn't it? And just go out there, go and play, go and entertain this crowd.
And this could be just an easy narrative, but do you think all the pre-match and all the celebration of Rob Burrow, etc. and so forth, has an effect on the way the game is played, or is that
no,
not
absolutely,
true?
Absolutely it does. The Sky Sports cameras were here when the first game, I think, the Rob Burrow tribute game. And
Brodie, was it?
Yeah, and Brodie Croft, you could see the emotion in Brodie Croft that day. He had a dour season and had this brilliant game. So you tell me that the players are immune to emotion. Don't think that for a second. They know the importance and significance of today. Number one job, get the points, get the competition points, get the win. But clearly that is a motivating factor for the Leeds Rhinos.
The Leeds are flying here, they really are. They've scored 3 first half tries, they've conceded 1, but they're in the box seat. They're a dozen in front. It looks like being a very good afternoon for the Leeds Rhinos. Croft was hit late. It's bouncing ball, it's diffused, and it will be a penalty. He was hit late.
It's a correct decision, Rob. It's just frustration, I think, for Max Jowett. And they're challenging about this. I'll tell you what, they won't come out on the right side of this. Yeah, it's just you cannot do that when a player's in the air.
No.
Oh, they're not challenging it. Yeah, right. They're right not to as well.
And it's going to cost. It's going to cost Wakefield another 2 points here, isn't it? Because Jake Connor, you'd feel the way he's playing, he could kick it off the stand roof, but this is much more manageable. And his kicking stats were pretty mediocre at start of play. Remember, Leeds lost their ace goal kicker, Reece Martin, to Hull KR in the off-season. And Connor hasn't been that consistent off the tee, but today he's had no problem. He's had 2 easy ones, but 1 very difficult off the sideline. And now this one to add another 2 points to his tally. So this would give him, what, 8 from the boot and the try, a dozen points for the afternoon before half-time.
Yeah, he's had some afternoon, but then you look across this Leeds Rhinos outfit, I don't think there's been a player that hasn't been an 8 or a 9 out of 10. They've got after it today, they really have.
So this is to take Leeds to 20 and take the lead out to 14, just shy of half-time. And it really is as simple as that for Jake Connor and the Rhinos.
Yeah, penalty conceded by Max Jowett. Just frustration. I think he found himself bowled out the previous tackle, tried to apply a little bit of pressure, didn't get there, didn't time his kick pressure correctly. Brodie Croft clattered in the tackle by Jowett, and that's an easy 2 points for Jake Connor, and his Leeds Rhinos team are well and truly in the driving seat. They're 3 minutes away from half-time, Rod, and I would be a very, very interested spectator to listen in on Darryl Powell's half-time chat with his boys, because there is work to do here.
Well, Wakefield have gone very well on the road so far in 2025. They've won here at Leeds, as we've mentioned in the opening round. They've won at Warrington. They've won at Huddersfield in the Cup, and they've won at Lee. They've got a winning record on the road, but looks like they're going to be derailed here today unless they've got a great second half comeback in the locker. Josh Griffin returned to the team today, and he's in on the stop there. This is 6th Super League club, Wakefield. But Leeds are prepared to move the ball this afternoon, and that is reaping rich dividends. Ash Handley with the ball in one hand. Well, he's carrying the ball like Ali Lawatiti used to do here at Headingley back in that golden generation. In one hand like he was holding an orange or a tennis ball. Leeds on the attack again, a couple of minutes short of half-time. Connor kicks, high again, threatening again. Oh, that's a wonderful take from Rourke. Flew through the air with the greatest of ease. Wakefield on the back foot, though, deep inside their own half again here as they start this next set of 6. It's all a struggle for Wakefield here. Nothing coming easy. This is Johnstone again. Johnstone runs into 3 Rhinos, can't get free. Was carrying a knock early on, but he appears to have run it off. Walmsley, the Wakefield try scorer. The South Stand in full voice here at Headingley. In the sunshine now, we had a torrential shower just before kick-off. But the weather beautiful now, and Leeds enjoying themselves. This is Lino. Lino will go to the air. But he finds the hands of Miller. That's not what he wanted to do at all. Lockie Miller, though, this time is manhandled by Hall. It's a penalty to Leeds, though. Too much manhandling.
Oh, they're just not being given time, are they? The Leeds Rhinos are all over them. They're like a rash all over them. Mason Lino's had no time on his clearing kick. They feel obliged to try and do something to regain control of the tempo around the play of the ball. Too much. Pressure release. And once again, Wakefield Trinity, they're looking at a sea of white coming at them.
At this time in the match, we often speculate which team would want the match to continue and which team would want a match to stop at half-time. It's another penalty lead. I'll tell you something, John Wells. Wakefield would be mighty relieved to hear the half-time siren, and no mistake.
Yeah, and Darryl Powell will be desperate for that same half-time hooter, because he'll want to get his charges into the dressing room.
Tom, it's tackle 1. Got a captain's challenge.
Challenge coming here from Wakefield. And I wonder how much of this challenge is because they think it wasn't a ball steal, and how much they think we just need a rest.
It's tackle 1. Wakefield are challenging the on-field decision of a ball steal. So Griffin has dropped the ball for this point, which is entitled to do. There is 2 Wakefield players holding the ball carrier. He's still entitled to do this and lose sight of the ball there. What happens to the ball? I can't see sight of that. Need a different angle on that one. This might tell us more. So again, he's entitled to be in at this point. There's still 2 men in the tackle. Is that ball dislodged there? Can't see how that ball comes out there. Just need to explore all angles to make sure we can see the ball. This might tell more. Loose side of the ball there. When it comes loose. Try this one, so we know we're okay to this point. Ball is wrapped up. Again, loose side of the ball. It comes out. Based on the angles I've seen, the challenge is inconclusive. Don't feel call will stand.
We have an inconclusive captain's challenge.
What did you think conclusive? So we're going with the...
So they go with the call. It'll be a penalty. They'll retain their challenge, though.
Yeah, crucially, I think that's important as well, that they do retain the challenge, and with less than 10 seconds on the clock, you would imagine Jake Connor would attempt another 2, and you wouldn't back against him, would you, with the success rate he's had off the boot this afternoon?
Well, he's 100% for the afternoon, which takes him to 67% for the season. I'm sure you were just working that out, John, on the back of an envelope. But he's way off the leading kickers. The man with the most is Kieran, 47 out of 58, 81%, John. And nobody seems to know who the most accurate kicker in the league is. It's Aspiro Bichet at the Dragons, who's got 20 out of 24 for 83%. Doesn't get that many attempts, but he's the most accurate up to press. Can Connor prove accurate here again? Make it 5 on the trot this afternoon. A nap hand, if you will. There it is, and it's the final act of the first half. And fittingly, it's Jake Connor who is at the centre of it, because he kicks a 5th goal, 2 penalties and 3 conversions, and the try he scored, which was Leeds' 3rd try, following 4 pointers from Newman. That was his 2nd try, sorry, Newman and Lum, the other 4 pointers for Leeds. The reply from Wakefield came from Wormsley, but Wakefield really up against it here, and Brad Arthur's boys are in complete command at the break at AMT Headingley. Will it still be the Rhinos? They're up by 16 at the break. The second half is coming next. Could you?
No,
but they've got to get in there first.
Absolutely not. That won't be on the agenda at all for Brad Arthur and for the players out there at the moment. Their focus is fully on producing a result today, and I think they've played some really attractive rugby.
I'm with you in regards to that, because it's been an excellent Leeds performance. They had that terrific win, didn't they, at home over Wigan, 12-10. But you take that one out of the equation, perhaps this is arguably their best performance of the season.
Wait, go for good. Thanks, mate.
And that is Sam Lasoni making his 200th career appearance today, like Olensky. Connor kicks again. The height he's getting on these bombs is incredible. Well, he had to cover a lot of ground there, Rourke, even to get to where that ball was dropping.
Yeah, manhandled by Holroyd, but yeah, he meant to move 20 metres, quick, sharp, to get to that ball. It held up on the wing, didn't it?
Well, Jake Connor's silky smooth handling skills have been superb this afternoon, but his kicking has been magnificent. We saw him create the first try for Newman, but those bombs, well, you know, John, you stood under these kind of bombs on the wing or fullback, and it really is a nightmare when it's spiralling.
Yeah, and it's the time that kills you. It's never mind what the ball's doing. It's just anything with any kind of height on it, the time, and your brain starts working. And oh dear, Mike McMeekin is forced the ball late out of a tackle, and Liam Hood has put that down. So Wakefield have blinked first in this second stanza as well. Yeah, it's an inauspicious start to the half from Wakefield. They've laboured through that set and erred at the end of it.
And I'd say probably in that team talk, it may well have closed. Right, let's go out and start this second half like we mean to go on. Let's go out and really start well. Get on the front foot. Knock on.
Yeah, and look, and when they're in position, as we've seen, I've watched a lot of Wakefield this year. They're a really attractive attacking team to watch, absolutely. But the reality is they've not been allowed to play. They've not been allowed the position all the time to play.
You're quite right. They just haven't had the territory. They haven't had the play the balls in the opposition's red zone at all. They've not had the threatening opportunities when they got there. They've been there twice, I think, in the danger zone and scored once. Not a bad ratio, but they haven't been down there often enough. Leeds with ball in hand again, and Connor has his hands on the football. Cam Smith.
Bird, open square! Get square! Wait, Seth.
Smith is tackled just outside the 30-metre area. Brodie Croft. Croft goes from left to right. He finds Connor again. Juggling goes on there from McDonald, but he clutched the ball tight in the end, and Leeds maintained possession. 2 tackles left. Lissoni, the Samoan wrecking ball, goes into 3 Trinity defenders, but is forced backwards. That's good defence. Jared O'Connor. Jake Connor. Watkins. Good hands here from Leeds. Riley Lum kicks.
Oh, slip fielded by Rock. That's brilliant reactive play. I mean, there's been a real bright spot for Wakefield Trinity. The performance of Josh Rourke at the back. He's been really safe, hasn't he? He's had to react very quickly at times. Take a look at this for a piece of fielding. Brilliant work.
They did well. He's had a lot of practice at high kicks this afternoon from the boot of Jake Connor. That one was something equally awkward along the ground and very low. Hood this time. Johnstone spins out of 1 tackle, and he's done well because we saw him injured with the right ankle problem very early on in the piece. He's done well to still be out there, and he's still a threat. Ryan Hall winds up. Hall, Super League's top try scorer, 260 in Super League, and 19th all-time now in the sport of rugby league in try scorers. Incredible longevity from the legendary winger. The man they used to call WBW, world's best winger, in his first spell at Headingley. Callum Watkins looks to offload and does so, smuggles it away to O'Connor. O'Connor scampering over the 30-metre line. Jared O'Connor.
That's a good late offload, isn't it, from Callum Watkins. O'Connor gets on his bike, and now Leeds are in position.
They're on the front foot again, the Rhinos here, threatening more points early on in this second stanza. McDonald was the man there. This is Croft. Croft steps on the gas. Last tackle here. What has Jake Connor got in his box of tricks here, I wonder? It's Croft this time. Bit of variety. Brodie Croft prods it through. And it's picked up by Trinity. They survive.
Oh, just barely. He's nearly knocked on in the act of playing the ball, Isaiah Vangenaar. But again, you know, they're not making any kind of meters, are they? Leeds have got them exactly where they want them. The play, the ball speed is slow. That's a little bit better from Corey Hall in and around the ruck. Lands on his front. There's a bit of momentum.
If you're watching and you're a Wakefield Trinity fan, you're thinking to yourself, little down in my mind, you're thinking, we need a penalty. We need a penalty.
You can't rely on a leg up. You've got to try and generate this yourself. And I think they're doing the right thing, working around the ruck here. That's much better. That's saved the set.
That is Mathieu Cozza, the Frenchman. This is Lino, and Lino has got that very high. And that's Jake Connor back. More of a fullback role back there in his own 10-metre area. Jake Connor, he's doing it all this afternoon. Lino with the tackle on Handley. There have been occasions when Wakefield have managed to pen Leeds in, but not for any sustained period of time. Riley Love, who got another try this afternoon.
Well, this is as good as it's looked. I think they've got 2 plays left. Ryan Hall with a trademark carry, but he's still inside his 40. This is as good as we've seen from Wakefield in defence, and it came from that really good carry from Mathieu Cozza.
Connor, a lower trajectory this time. Again, it is Rourke, and now it's Wormsley again. Wormsley stretches his legs, but there's no room there for the Scottish international.
Hit a line for me.
James Bentley, Ash Handley are the men to do the stop. Hall looking to offload as he goes backwards, but thought better of it. He had Rourke in support, but kept hold of the football. But again, to John's point, they're not making any ground, are they, with the ball, Wakefield? It's all a chore. very much an exercise in pushing Custard uphill with a fork when they've got the ball.
Well, that's a better carry from Van den Aert. They're having a lot more joy when they're going close around the ruck. Corey Hall this time wrapped up by Riley Lum, and once again they find themselves at the end of a set on an edge.
Oh, it's a knock-on against Leeds here.
I think they're going to get another set of 6 here, and that was fortunate for Wakefield because it looked like they were going to run that on the last. In fact, they were going to run it on the last. Mattia Koza has just tried to shovel the ball out, and I think it's fortunate from Wakefield's point of view that it touched the Leeds Rhinos' hand.
I can hear you.
While we've got a breather, I'm hearing that Hull FC have taken the lead in France.
Let's go. Shot clock off because it's corrupted. Clocks have corrupted.
6-0 to Hull FC.
Okay,
they've already enjoyed a win down there this season. They're looking for a repeat, as Wakefield were when they arrived at Headingley. That seems a long shot now, but Hull lead 6-0. Wakefield trail 22-6. What can they do from this attacking situation? Koza.
Well, I've seen Wakefield in this position, and what they try and do is set up just to the edge of a post and then play alongside. So I expect them now that they'll be looking to play right here.
Bangerin as well to offload to Hood. Hood, though, is clutched by Cam Smith. Rourke is in a dummy half. You'd expect to see Lino involved here. And now Jowett pokes it through. It's loose inside the goal area. Is that a try? Wakefield could be back in business. They are back in business. Well, time seems to stand still there. They moved it from right to left.
Let's get Archie's comms engineer. Lucas, could you get him?
Max Jowett is claiming the try.
Well, they needed to improvise. Mason Lino would set up on the right-hand side, and your makeshift standoff, Max Jowett, has kicked and then followed up his own dab through to dot down. So he gets a try and a try assist. It's smart work from Jowett. I think he's had a look at where the fullback's positioned here. And he's taken a short stab at the line. It's bounced kindly for him, and he's managed to draw Wakefield back into this game.
I'm not sure it's even possible to have a try and a try assist for the same try, but we'll count it, John. But what you did see there was a complete outnumbering, wasn't it? It was like 4 or 5 Wakefield Trinity players and no one from Leeds in their own goal area. And it was just a matter of who scored, not which team scored.
Yeah, Max Jowett is a fullback by trade. He's playing in the halves at the moment, partly down to the form of Josh Rourke at fullback, partly down to the injury for Jake Truman. He's acquitted himself very well. I think he's one of Super League's best. I think he's a hugely underrated player, if you can be, with so many games under your belt, Max Jowett. And I think he's seen something. He operates at fullback, and I think he's seen something here. I think he's seen Lockie Miller, the opposition fullback, out of position.
Well, he was player of the match at Warrington playing as fullback earlier this season in a great Wakefield Trinity win. And here he's got his side back in this contest. Can he add 2? He can.
Well, he's done really well. Kicked another one, Max Jowett. But I want to have a look at what he's done and what he's potentially seen. Lockie Miller, he's gone the wrong way. In fact, it was Jake Connor who was operating at fullback, and he stepped the wrong way. So Max Jowett knew that he had space to kick into. I think Lockie Miller is actually off the field, so that's maybe another reason. We talked earlier in the afternoon about Jake Connor, best position at half. Fullback, I don't think there's the pace there defensively to put himself in the right position all the time. But Lockie Miller appears to be off the field. Jake Connor has moved to fullback, and Max Jowett's taken full advantage.
Well, Connor was back in fullback position, wasn't he, for a high kick earlier in that passage of play, and we noted that he'd been back there. And now it becomes evident why, as you've alluded to, John, that Miller has gone off the field, and this is going to change the whole dynamic of what Leeds are trying to do. There's a domino effect with Miller going off. It's not just affecting the fullback position, because Connor goes there and it's a different role for him, and then someone's got to come in and stand off, and the halves change, everything changes.
Yeah, we've just been told that Lockie Miller's got a calf issue. He's on ice, he's off the field. You know, ice on a calf, you're playing no further part in this game. So Connor will be at full-back for the remainder of this game. Riley Lum takes that cleanly, dodges the attempted tackle of Josh Rourke, pinned back though by the kick chase of Cam Scott.
Right, is this injury to Lockie Miller going to be a game changer here at AMT Headingley? Leeds, remember, by 16 points at half-time. It's been trimmed now to just 10.
I think it's a really significant injury for two reasons. One, Lockie Miller, clearly what he brought to the side is no longer there. And two, the positional change. You've had to pull Jake Connor out of a position where he's absolutely excelled over the last couple of weeks.
Here he is though, Connor. Connor offloads without due care and attention. And Lachlan Walmsley says, thank you very much. I'll take that. And Trinity go on the front foot again. Well, those were going to hand in the first half, weren't they, for Connor?
First mistake of the afternoon, I think, really well anticipated by Lachlan Walmsley. He knows that Connor's got that in his game. But Wakefield, once again, they find themselves gifted position and possession.
Different feel to the contest now, John. Suddenly, Wakefield have got a bit about them here. There's a bit of a pep in the Wakefield step at the start of this second period. Oh, not now, though, because Mattia Koza has spilled the pill, and just when Wakefield were getting on the front foot, they take a backward step.
It's really unfortunate from Wakefield's point of view because they were set up really nicely. Mason Leno had arranged his troops around him, and Darryl Powell just takes a moment of reflection on what could have been in that set, because you definitely feel, you're right, I think the atmosphere's changed in this stadium. It's subdued. That drum stopped banging beneath us in the south stand.
Let's go.
And they're watching on with a little bit of anticipation here.
Head in, Jared. Okay, ball in, shot clock.
Well, we are above the south stand here at AMT Headingley, and it's never truly silent, but as John says, it is subdued at the moment, where the Leeds faithful are just starting to bite their nails a little bit here. Suddenly starting to feel that it might not be the canter to 2 points that it looked like in the first half, but they're still in front by 10. Let's get that right.
That's a good piece of defence as well from Lima Hood. Got right underneath Harry Newman.
Newman forced backwards. Plays the ball. O'Connor.
4. Off the ball.
Palacia. Jared O'Connor with a little scamper to Watkins. Watkins has found Jake Connor. Connor is over the 30. 2 tackles left for Leeds. Handley. Croft kicks. There's not much depth to it, but Wakefield have got away with it somehow. Unconvincing claim, you'd have to say, but in the end it's good enough for Max Jowett.
Caught that by accident. There's a bomb diffused by default. 2 players in the way. Josh Griffin, I don't think anybody really wanted a part of that. But Wakefield have got an opportunity here, no doubt about it. If they go on and score next, I think this is set up for a really good last quarter.
That was Walmsley again. This is Hall, strides forward, stretches his legs, but they're still not making many metres with ball in hand. It is still a struggle. Koza now spins in the tackle. Leeds having to work a lot harder though, you feel. Suddenly this is becoming a harder task for the Rhinos when it seems so easy. Jake Connor claims back in that full-back role. He's having to reinvent himself mid-match, if you will.
Go on, go Josh.
Croft, Lum happy to take the tackle a metre or 2 outside the 30-metre line, so halfway inside his own half, give or take. Ash Handley.
Third, Matteo off the ball.
Safety first from Leeds here at the moment. Croft. Nothing flash from the Rhinos, nursing the 10-point advantage. That was McDonald, this is Croft. That is Brodie Croft. Croft now forced to take the tackle. The busy O'Connor. The cultured kick of Connor. seemed to be knocked on by Riley Lum, and that is the call from the officials.
No, once again, really well tidied up at the back by Josh Rock. He just finds himself in the right position 9 times out of 10. And that's not by accident. That's a really intelligent rugby player. But Wakefield, you'd advise him here to really take the handbrake off. Just really chuck some energy at this next set. Try and finish in the right area of the field, and then try and ramp up in defence, because they're getting no change out of Leeds in the midfield here, 1 out.
Third. Oh no! Don't go early, James. Wait, go free back. Kicks. 4-10. That's fine, he's wrapped.
Oh, Lino kicks and is taken to ground as he got the ball off the boot, and it's collected this end by Hall, sorry.
Well, it's a better kick and it's a good chase, Rod. But Wakefield have really got to put some energy into this now if they want anything out of this next set or 2.
Go. I need you quicker, Josh. Quicker in the ruck. Third. Isaiah. Wait, go. Go free. Got it.
Harry Newman, he scored the first try of the match, seems a long time ago now. In the 10th minute of the game. 6 again here, too much in the tackle, says match referee Chris Kendall. So Leeds getting breathing space off the Wakefield indiscretion in the tackle. That's Cam Smith tackled there. That was O'Connor. This is Holroyd.
Right, it's Isaiah Vangenaar. He's absolutely gassed. He needs a spell because he's been left on the floor again here.
Croft, Callum Watkins enjoying himself. Connor, Handley, Ash Handley stretches his legs. Broke a couple of tackles. It's tackled 8 metres out. Chris Kendall not interested, so that was down to James Bentley, not a Wakefield defender. Paliasia just takes the tackle, centre of the field here. Options for Leeds either way. Croft, Connor, forward pass called.
Whoa. A let off for Wakefield because they were well and truly on the ropes. Vangenaar, they've got to get Vangenaar off the field. In fact, he's going. He's been called. He was gassed for that entire defensive set. And I think the Leeds Rhinos, they saw it, they targeted it. Callum Watkins first, and then Tom Holroyd, and they went straight over the top of him in the ball. I mean, he's got through a mountain of work, but he was left on a set too long there. Kaius Fatili back on the field. Jay Pitts is back on the field. So from a Wakefield point of view, hopefully some fresh energy, some fresh impetus here, because the Leeds Rhinos, they've got their foot on the throat at the moment.
Well, we are now ticking up towards the 3/4 point of this contest, the hour mark. Leeds leading by 10 points. 20 minutes left. Can Wakefield come off the canvas to KO Leeds again for the 2nd time this season on this very ground?
10 metres.
They won here 14-12, 105 days ago.
There's the carries. They're the carries. It's the carry back in behind the ruck. It's an area, it's a natural area of weakness in any defensive line. Every time they've gone there, they've had joy.
Fatili offloads. Rourke dances his way for another metre or 2. But Paliasia is there with an important tackle. Jay Pitts. Now Jowett, who got the try for Wakefield in this early stage of this second half. Wakefield trying to get themselves back in this game. There's the kick. Should be dealt with, and is dealt with by Riley Lum very safely, the young winger. Scored his 9th Super League try of the season in the first half. Takes him ahead of Ryan Hall, who tries in all competitions for Leeds this season.
That's a great carry. Real intent, real purpose about that from Harry Newman.
Callum Watkins saw half a gap, but it closed. Bentley, James Bentley. Cam Smith prepared to do the hard yards, straight up the middle. And noticeable, I think, that Leeds' game plan has become more conservative as the game has got tighter, understandably so, in actual fairness, because they want to keep things tight here. They want to keep the back door shut. Wakefield have got to take the chances now. They're chasing the game. Here's Walmsley. Walmsley, no space. Aliasia and Smith did the job. Working hard here, Leeds. Working on that defensive side of the game that we'd mentioned pre-match that Brad Arthur is so strict on.
Out, Tom! Get square! Square! Wait, go.
Cozza goes to ground, takes the tackle. Wakefield still in possession. Prepared now to promote the ball.
Out! Ruins backhand. Wait, go 5 go.
Corey Hall tackled. Back to Lena. Lena will find the land this time. A bouncing ball diffused by Ryan Hall. Puffs out his cheeks. Runs directly into Fatili.
Here we are, Cam. Wait.
And Jowett. But the whole mood music of this game has changed since that try from Jowett, which trimmed the Leeds advantage.
Well, Leeds have lost an awful lot of fizz out the back, haven't they? They've lost the kick returning ability of Lockie Miller, and they've lost a little bit of enterprise and attack as well. Jake Connors preoccupied for the start of the set from the fullback position.
Different game this, different feel to this game now. Meaty tackle came in from Jay Pitts to assist Gaius Fatili. Holroyd. Aliasia. He's worked hard. The Samoan international. And there is the busy Jared O'Connor. And again, Josh Rourke. Right place, right time.
Oh, smart as well. Gets the pass away to Tom Johnstone, who makes an extra 10 metres. That's what I was talking about, that intelligence, that awareness of where he is on the field.
5 Super League tries for TJ this season. Signed a 4-year contract on his return to the DIY Kitchen Stadium from the south of France to be part of this Wakefield revolution under Daryl Powell and owner Matt Ellis. Cozza squirming his way towards the halfway line. That's the 3rd tackle in this sequence. Can Wakefield conjure something up here? They've got it on the move now. Hall! Corey Hall goes! A ball inside, a try here surely for Jowett. Max Jowett. Wakefield Trinity here are threatening one of the great Super League fightbacks. Is this a try though? Hold on, hold your horses. Try on the field, but a possible obstruction. Hold the back page. Video ref Tom Grant is going to need to take a look at this.
Okay, it's tackle 4. We've got an on-field call of a try. We're just checking for any obstruction in the build-up. So in possession at this point. So Fatili is a support runner. Runs outside shoulder line. Just checking the actions of James Bentley. So he's a support runner at this point. James Bentley reaches out and grabs Fatili, so we can play on from this point. That's not obstruction. Through to grounding. Ball is grounded. They have a decision.
Well, never mind, hold the back page. Call the printers and print the scoreline, 22-16, because Max Jowett has scored again. 2 tries for the Wakefield halfback. And Daryl Powell's boys are back in business. And presuming Jowett can add the extras here, the lead will be just 4.
Oh, it's brilliant work. Finished by Jowett, but started by Jowett. We'll take you back just before they play the ball. Jowett right behind the ruck. Look at the late movement. Gets on the tail of Mason Leno. Provides the extra passing option. And then that goes to the hands from Rourke to Corey Hall. And Max Jowett backs up on the inside. It's a brilliant piece of play from Wakefield. Created and scored by Max Jowett. It's the movement behind the ruck. The defence has got no time to address, no time to adjust, no time to account for the unexpected presence of Max Jowett, who converts his own try. We've got a 4-point ball game, and after what looked like an improbable situation at half-time, where the Leeds Rhinos were all set to waltz home here with the 2 points. Wakefield Trinity reminded everybody once again that they are a force to be reckoned with this season, Rod.
Well, as you say, John, at half-time, it seemed not to be a question of who, but how many.
Yeah, well, Wakefield...
And now, it's very much who.
Yeah, Wakefield they've got a say, they've had a say in this game, haven't they? It took them some time, but they've prized open this Leeds Rhinos defence.
Well, 105 days ago, on the day after Valentine's Day, Max Jowett scored 2 tries in a thrilling Wakefield Trinity raid on AMT Headingley when they won 14-12. And now, on the final day of May, Max Jowett has scored 2 tries again, and he's kicked 3 goals this time. And Trinity are now on 18 points, and they're just 4 adrift of the Rhinos, who led 22-6 at half-time. Game on now.
Oh, look, the Rhinos they'll be torn mentally. They'll back themselves to protect a 4-point lead for 15 minutes. Well, but you wouldn't want to have to rely on it, would you? Not with the way Wakefield are now playing with the tails up. Much better set 6 after points.
Well, one of the criticisms of Leeds this season has been a lack of game management towards the back end of matches. And they bodged a scrum formation at Warrington, you might remember, and they couldn't shut down a game against Hull Kingston Rovers, admittedly the top team in the comp, but they lost the lead there late on to a side they looked like they had beat. They had an extra man against OKR as well, then got Hanley sent off and lost the lead and lost the match.
So you've seen again another momentum shift. It's a great set after points, and look at the defence now. Just the way that points inject energy into a side. Midway through the set, 18 metres only for the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, this is the problem with momentum, John. It distracts you from the actual scoreline. Because if I were to say to you, who would you rather be, 4 in front or 4 behind with 13 minutes to go, you'd say 4 in front, wouldn't you? But because what you've just seen, you start thinking Wakefield are going to do it.
You'd be much happier in the position the Leeds Rhinos are in, but I tell you, there are warning signs here in this game, because there's one team now with the tails up, absolutely.
No question. The red lights are flashing here, the warning lights are flashing for the Rhinos. Are they going to blow a 16-point lead at home to Wakefield? That is the question, and the answer will be known in the next 12 minutes or so. Well, Wakefield, 2 tries from Jowett in the space of 15 minutes. They've got plenty of time here to score again. And as John has rightly said, they're on top here in terms of forward to me, but referee calls it as lateral and flat, and play on is the call. And now Lino has a chance to put the ball in the air to that right flank. Up goes Hall. Hall is safe. Leeds, can they shut this game down? They don't need to score again. If they did, it would be relief for Maximus, because that would just take all the pressure off. But they don't need to score. Can they manage this game, John? That's quite an art, isn't it?
Well, there's something gone on in the ruck here. Josh Griffin's taken exception to something. Harry Newman, well, the referee's just asked the players to crack on and wave on. Really important 40 seconds for Wakefield, I feel, and for the Leeds Rhinos. Once again, this set going nowhere for the home team.
Ash Handley trying to buy some land and get Leeds up to the 30-metre area, but they're under the cosh here, the Leeds Rhinos. It looks so easy. It seems so easy in the first half. It's hard work now, all right. Don't you worry about that. This is going to be the hardest of hard-fought 2 points if Leeds hang on, and that's a big if now. As Croft kicks to get Leeds out of trouble, gets a Rhinos bounce, it hops away briefly from Raw. Now Raw has turned and starts moving towards the halfway line, but no space. Callum Watkins is in on the stop with Cam Smith. Wakefield. Time is against them, the scoreboard is against them, but you feel they've got the belief to go on and win this from here. Can they do so? Tremendous stuff. Oh, what a tackle that is. Jared O'Connor, a meaty tackle.
There's your top tackler for the Leeds Rhinos, by some distance, by the way. Averages 40 tackles a game, and a couple of bell ringers in there, just like that one.
Learnt that from his father. His father told me that. No, Terry is here to watch Jared in action again, as he always is. this Saturday afternoon Super League thriller. A nail biter. Connor's knocked on. Jake Connor has knocked on. They're in trouble here, Leeds. Ryan Hall diffuses it, and it could have been a disaster. That could have been a try if Hall hadn't got to that. He did, but it's still going to be scrummed down in the middle of the field, 20 metres out. My word, Leeds are in trouble here, you feel.
Oh, and it's been coming as well, hasn't it? You feel the atmosphere changing in this stadium. And Jake Connor pinned underneath a high bomb from Mason Lino with a kick chase from Griffin and Rourke. And for the man who's had an outstanding afternoon, and you're right, has had to adjust on the fly as well, positionally from the halves to full-back following Lockie Miller's injury. And now a golden opportunity, a gilt-edged opportunity for Wakefield.
Jake Connor has spent his entire career oscillating between hero and villain. He's been the hero in the first half. Is that an act of villainry that's going to hurt Leeds here? Jowett looking for a hat-trick, which would be the go-ahead score, of course, now. Wakefield are 12 metres away from tying the game.
What price Fatili here, the try-scoring prop forward.
Well, he scored 2 the week before last and 2 last week. And Wakefield with big Mike McMeekin challenging the Leeds defence. He's held there. That is going to be tackle number 3. This is Hood. Hood, it's a wild pass. And they've wasted a tackle and they've lost meterage. That was a mess that they could ill afford at this stage. Now here's Fatili. Gaius Fatili. No dice this time. Liam Hood looking left and right, looking for options. Finds Lino. Lino has found the option. He's found Cam Scott. Cam Scott has found the welcoming arms of 3 Leeds Rhinos, and that is the handover.
James Bentley's imploring the South Stand to get involved, to re-engage with his side. Riley Lund with a good piece of defensive work, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. And here's Bentley with the first carry.
Bentley didn't play at Cast last week, one of the bad boys of Super League. He's had the odd red card, but he's got Leeds stoked up here as they look to hold on. The clock's still ticking. 7 minutes left here, AMT Headingley, Leeds by 4. Just a single score between these two sides. That is Cameron Smith. Fatili with the tackle. Leeds with possession at this stage in the match. That is 9/10 of the law. Now Ryan Hall. Hall with the handoff. Get out of my way. Ryan Hall. What a run that was from the ace try scorer, but that was hard graft. Now Connor. Connor gets Leeds out of their own half. It's picked up by Walmsley. He fancies a run. Leeds fancies a big tackle. Callum Watkins, he's put a shift in here. It was Jenkins as well off the interchange bench with the additional assistance. Cooper Jenkins wearing the 17 jersey. That is Tom Johnstone. Tom Johnstone has got Wakefield close to the halfway line, but half the tackles in the sequence have gone here. And Trinity aren't in Leeds territory yet. They are now. But I wonder if that chance they had from the Connor knock-on might be their last real chance. Who knows? Lino is tackled.
Great work, McDonald. Again, out of the line, took a gamble, took a risk, wrapped up Lino.
James McDonald, who scored 4 tries at Salford, and that tackle there might be worth almost as much, because this is a tight game. This is a game that is on the line in the final few minutes, when every mistake is going to be magnified and every tackle is crucial. Mike McMeekin makes one there. Lasoni getting Leeds a little bit more breathing space. Tackle number 3 there for the Rhinos. That's 4 as Jared O'Connor is taken to ground by Josh Griffin. Big Mick runs into an equally big man, another man mounted in Mike McMeekin. Croft kicks. Tom Johnstone, no space, no room, no running room. Still makes a couple of metres after the first contact. But time ticking away now. And Leeds have managed to keep Wakefield at arm's length since that foray into the 10-metre area after the Connor knock-on. Well, John Wells is going to have to pick a player of the match here. Good luck with that project, John.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you could say it's a player X and then the other team could score and it'll be player Y. So we're going to give John the maximum amount of time to cogitate on that topic. Now here's Mike McMeekin, handles the ball well for a big man. Forward pass, handling error, big handling error, big error. Leeds get the ball back. Bentley is fired up. James Bentley again. He's conducting the orchestra here. James Bentley stoking them up. And Leeds are up here by 4 as we move into the final 4 minutes.
Yeah, just erred, haven't they, when they get themselves and work themselves into great position. Wakefield, and then on this occasion it's Mason Lino. He came out the hands forward. He was called forward, and the Leeds Rhinos and Brad Arthur, have they got a final reprieve, and can they now see it home? 3.5 minutes left on the clock.
Well, we had all the pre-match emotion as Leeds marked the first anniversary of the passing of Rob Burrow. And now there's emotion out on the paddock here in these final few moments. With the game on the line and the ball on the floor. Sam Lissoni, what have you done?
Now then, because that looked like a really dominant set.
You've got to stay in that formation.
Really dominant set from the Leeds Rhinos. Some big carries. And then Sam Lissoni, under the least pressure, it was a brilliant platform that had been laid by Mikołaj Lecki. And Sam Lissoni, the ball was a little low. But perhaps the door just left open for Wakefield Trinity. The question is, are they good enough? Are they clinical enough to kick it in?
Just having the ball at all as a result. An offload. Jowett. A stop-start run from the 2-try Trinity hero. Big Mick with the tackle. A hint of a forward pass again there, but they've got away with that one. And that is Cam Scott, the ex-Lee and Hull centre. McMeekin. They're inside Leeds territory, so they can at least put an attacking kick in here. All ends up at the end of this set. That's Lino. This is Jowett. Jowett has to take the tackle. It's going to be a penalty here against James Bentley. Chris Kendall blows the whistle. Well, they're 4 behind, so the 2 is an irrelevance. They're going to have to get it in the corner and go to work, but they'll go to work deep inside the Leeds 20 here, John. It's a great chance.
Oh, and a whole week's worth of training, a whole week's worth of preparation is now distilled into 2 minutes. 2 minutes of action where the ability to defend or the ability to attack is going to decide. And now we're going to see some more here from Chris Kendall.
And it's going to be worse than just a penalty, I think, from what Chris Kendall is saying to Tom Grant, the video referee. And now Leeds, I said he's the bad boy, or one of the bad boys of Super League, James Bentley, who was sent off on his Rhinos debut back against Warrington in 2022, as I recall. He's been effectively sent off here because he won't see any more action this afternoon. Leeds down to 12, 2 minutes left.
Well, he's an emotional player, isn't he, James Bentley? You saw pictures of him trying to engage the south stand, celebrating a successful piece of defence with his teammates, but he stepped over the line there. And we talked about the door being open. Well, Wakefield, can they find the key?
Well, they won't get a better chance here. They're in the red zone. They've got a man advantage. Wakefield Trinity. They trail by 4. A try will put it level. All happening here at AMT Headingley. Game on the line. Knife-edge stuff, nail-biting stuff. Jay Pitts. Jay Pitts squirms forward. He's 12 metres away as he plays the ball. Vangenaar has his hands on it. Now Lino, shaped to give it to Scott. A long ball. Walmsley has collected it, but there's no space. Lachlan Walmsley scored the first Wakefield try. The last is worth much gold. He doesn't get there. Lino drops off a simple ball to McMeekin. Mike McMeekin with the big handoff. Offloads. Long offload. Lino stepping off the left foot. Walmsley. Lachlan Walmsley goes to ground. And the surrender tackle. Last minute. It doesn't get any closer than this. Lino, it comes off a Leeds hand. Pitch. They've got another set. Hall is the set. Doesn't matter. Wakefield are going to get the ball back. It came off a Leeds hand. It was knocked on. And
they're racing to form a scrum now, so the referee will blow time off the clock. And the referee he's still waiting for them to bind. He's now called time off. There is 24 seconds left in this game. You're going to get 3 plays, Wakefield.
Let's go, Leeds.
3 plays to defend for the Leeds Rhinos. It was a hand in from James McDonnell on Mason Lino, and this is it. This is the game.
It's the thing every team should practice here, having to score with the clock against you. They've got a scrum central position. There's 30 seconds left, just under. Lino, Corey Hall, he made the break that set up the 3rd try for Trinity. Oh, what a finish here. Hook to McMeekin, the siren goes. Walmsley hits it on, it's all over. It's all over. Leeds have hung on. Leeds have hung on. The Rhinos have clung on to defeat Wakefield. They've avenged the opening round defeat. They led by 16 points at half-time. But in the end, they hung on by 4 as Wakefield staged an amazing second-half fight back, featuring 2 tries from Max Jowett, but in the end, not quite enough. And Leeds, with the most nail-biting wins, have got home. 22 points to 18, and breathe.
And breathe, yes. It was a grim last 5 minutes for the Leeds Rhinos, but they had enough in the locker, didn't they? Wakefield Trinity, not at their clinical best. And you tasked me with finding a player of the match, Rod. Well, look, I mean, it wasn't for the second half performance, but certainly in putting Leeds the points on the board in that first 40 minutes. Player of the match goes to Jake Connor.
Well, the first half in the end was decisive, and the first half kicks from Jake Connor were decisive. Those penalties towards the back end, they were the 4-point difference in the end, because both teams have scored 3 tries and converted them. But Jake Connor's kicks have made the difference, and they've just about got home to make it 4 wins on the trot to go 3rd in the Super League table. Well, what a win that is. That was Super League Rugby League manifest. What a game.
Absolutely. Blood and guts and effort, and some real moments, some flashes of brilliance as well, Rod.
Well, one well-known Super League player described it as unwatchable not long ago. That was almost unbearable if you were a Leeds player or supporter or part of the coaching staff, because that was nails bitten down to the quick. And that was 5-star entertainment, and Leeds in the end have got the big 2 points to